morning. Thanks so much for joining us on Wake Up Charlotte. To go, I'm Carolyn Brooke.
And I'm Ben Thompson. We should say, folks, there's a lot of severe weather in our area today. So depending on when you're watching this, you might want to just check on WCNC.com or the WCNC weather app to get the very latest conditions in your area. But for right now, let's go ahead and turn over to Larry Sprinkle, who's tracking what has been some bad weather out there today.
All over the entire area, very heavy rainfall. This is down in York County, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Rain continues there, rain across the entire area. Where you see all that green, that would indicate flash flood warnings that extend all the way from Georgia, South Carolina, across North Carolina, particularly into our area. Very heavy flooding rains. If you live in an area that is flood prone, it doesn't matter whether it's your backyard, the street, creeks, streams, rivers, all of that is susceptible to flooding. It has happened, will continue throughout the morning. So there's widespread flooding across the entire area. That includes areas from the mountains to the foothills to the Charlotte metro area, all the way into South Carolina. A lot of warnings out there. Now, what you're going to see right here is rainfall, futurecast rainfall. This is in addition to what we already have. Areas could see well over almost 2.5 inches more at Wadesboro and Monroe, over an inch more here in the Charlotte area, about 2 inches at Chester in South Carolina. That's added to what we already have across the region. And this is just this morning between Morganton and Hickory, over 4 inches of rain, and that's only the past couple of hours. Near Little River, you can see 3 1/3 inches right there along Highway 64. This is in Alexander County, right there around Hiddenite, about 3 to 4 inches of rain. And you can see just to the southeast of Moravian Falls between Eagle Mills and there, almost 4 inches of rain. So for today, heavy rain around the region this morning. We'll see clearing skies by late tonight. Tomorrow turns out to be beautiful weather, sunshine, low 70s. It'll be nice and dry for the weekend, a little bit cooler. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s, and a big change in our weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs will only be in the upper 50s, and that's your forecast this morning, Ben.
All right, Larry, thanks. Now to our top stories of the day in your morning rush. This morning, local health officials warning about a possible super spreader events linked to Charlotte churches.
Good morning. I'm Billie Jean Shaw. Mecklenburg County health officials are pleading with the local church to put an end to hosting a large mass gathering this week after the number of COVID cases are continuing to spike across the state and right here in the county. This is at the Kingdom City Church on Brookshire Boulevard. You can see that there are packed pews. No one's wearing a mask, and there's not a lot of social distancing going on. The church is hosting a weeks-long convocation event, and they told the county they will wear masks, but as you can see from that video, that is not happening.
I'm Tracy Potts. We are hearing from military and intelligence experts who say the changes the president is making at the Pentagon could put national security at risk. He has replaced the Secretary of Defense and 3 other top Pentagon officials, with others considered loyal to President Trump. Also, at least one Republican on Capitol Hill says if President-elect Biden is not getting the presidential daily briefing by tomorrow, he will intervene. It's another move that has raised concerns about national security.
Today is the final day absentee ballots can arrive and be counted in North Carolina. Those ballots have to have been postmarked by Election Day. Any of them filled out afterwards will not count. North Carolina, by the way, one of the very last states that has not been called in the presidential election.
After more than a week of county votes, Senator Tom Tillis has officially been reelected. The Associated Press called the race last night, saying there are not enough ballots left to count for Cal Cunningham to take the lead. This is Tillis's second term serving North Carolina.
Christian McCaffrey is back on the sidelines this weekend. Panthers coach Matt Rule saying the running back is likely out for Sunday's game against Tampa. He did hurt his shoulder during last weekend's game. If you were watching, you remember seeing it. This was against the Chiefs. It was his first game back since he sprained his ankle during week 2. So we're hoping that he makes a quick recovery. And that's it for your morning rush.
All right, time now to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. This week, Pfizer announced their coronavirus vaccine is 90% effective, but that's great, but there's still a major issue hospitals have to solve before it rolls out nationwide.
Pfizer's vaccine, while promising, faces a big obstacle. One of Charlotte's top hospitals hoping a new piece of technology will help. Let's connect the dots. Pfizer's vaccine has to be stored at extremely cold temperatures. We're talking 94 degrees below zero. For some context, a traditional freezer's temperature is about 0 degrees, way too warm to safely store doses. Scientists say the vaccine will spoil in just 5 days at that temperature, but upgrading isn't cheap. The Mayo Clinic in Minnesota says one of these special units costs $15,000. Atrium Health has invested in some, although we don't know how many or what they pay. But Atrium officials say one refrigerator can store about 300,000 doses. Having that much capacity will be key because keep in mind, Pfizer's vaccine requires 2 doses. And that is connecting the dots.
By the way, Atrium officials also say they're optimistic they're going to get access to more than just Pfizer's vaccine. The good news there, many of the others don't have the same storing challenges. Both Moderna and Johnson & Johnson's vaccines do not need to be stored at 94 degrees below zero, so that's good news.
Biggest night last night. Did you watch the CMA Awards? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the show. There were artists that got to be there in person in Nashville, socially distanced around the stage you'll see in the first clip, and then also artists that performed all over the world. So we'll give you a quick recap here about some of the performances that people are still talking about online today. This collaboration between Justin Bieber and Dan and Shay was really, really pretty. It came from the Hollywood Bowl. That's where they were at. And the awards show also found time to pay tribute to the late Charlie Daniels, Joe Diffie, and Mac Davis, all of whom died this past year. All the way from down under in Australia, Keith Urban performing from there and honoring healthcare workers worldwide. Love Keith Urban. Other big moments included a Lifetime Achievement Award for singer Charlie Pride. The 82-year-old broke ground as country music's first Black star. Also, the Female Artist of the Year went to a singer, Maren Morris. She gave a shout out in her speech to the Black female artists who she calls pioneers. Take a listen.
There are so many amazing Black women that pioneered and continue to pioneer this genre, and I know they're going to come after me. They've come before me, but you've made this genre so, so beautiful. I hope you know that we see you.
And we can't wrap this up without talking about Entertainer of the Year, Drink in My Hand singer Eric Church. He won that final award last night. And in his speech, he talked about the year that we've had and that he believes it will be music that brings us out of it. We'll continue to keep you posted and see what you think about the award show that was last night right here on WCNC Charlotte and Wake Up Charlotte to go. Guys, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thanks. Now some stories to keep you and your family safe and sound today. Butterball's turkey hotline might blow up this year. 1 in 4 Americans say this is the first Thanksgiving they'll have to handle it on their own. More of us doing small get-togethers apart from each other, which means more people are cooking turkeys, and not everybody knows what they're doing. So, heads up, be warned.
We know people are really sensitive to spoilers these days, right? You always have to say spoiler alert, but it turns out that a spoiler might not be such a bad thing. And we know that Ben already made his confession that he actually he Googles a movie before he watches it to find out what happens. There's a new study, though, that found movie spoilers actually make people more likely to watch a film. Here's how they figured this out. Box office sales went way up for movies where plot details or set pictures were leaked ahead of time. I don't really think that's a spoiler, though. Anyway, experts think it's because spoilers make us excited and reduce our uncertainty about whether the movie will be good. Clearly, Ben agrees.
Well, I want to see if the movie's going to be worth my time. And if I'm being really brutally honest with myself, and I'm not proud of this, if I Google about the movie and I read about it, that means I can simultaneously stay on my phone.
So not really pay attention.
And watch on occasion.
And kind of have an idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
All right.
Not proud.
Put the phone away, Ben.
I know, I did.
It's like an hour and a half as a movie these days.
You're right.
Get it together. Make sure you watch us every single morning starting at 4:30 a.m. on Wake Up Charlotte. Have a great day.